Hello lovelies, my name is Jkay. Welcome to another episode of the BRR Show. And on the BRR Show, we talk about business, relationship, and real life issues. And today, I have an amazing guest. I have Charles Okeibunor in the building. Hello, good evening.
Hi, Jkay.
I hope I pronounced your name well.
Yeah, you sure did.
He is the CEO of Workplace Transformer. And today, we will be talking about managing conflict in business and relationship. I'm sure you would enjoy today's show. So tell us, Mr. Charles, there is conflict everywhere. People want to fight, want to disagree. Please tell us, how do we manage conflict? First, let's start with the business place.
Well, I do not know if people want to fight.
Okay.
What might be the case is that people find themselves fighting as a way to react to their realities.
Okay.
So I would want to give the average person the benefit of doubt that if they had an alternative,
they would not be fighting.
They would not be fighting. And no matter who they are. Because conflict really is very interesting.
Okay. How so?
It is so because conflict is just about differences.
Absolutely.
So
I'm saying 9, you're saying 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's about differences. And that's what they call POV, point of view. If you can come to see from my point of view,
we won't be fighting.
So oftentimes it's about I'll try and put myself in another person's shoes before I put them in my shoes.
Oh, okay.
If you did that, you're going to diffuse 99% of most conflicts.
Okay, I've learned something. So when there's a conflict, just try and put yourself in the other person's shoes before you prove your point.
That's correct. So even in business relationships,
absolutely,
that's what they call Pax Sunt Servanda, stand by your agreement. The reason why we write agreements is because over time, circumstances and situations have made it impossible for us to trust each other.
Okay.
So people want to write
that lack of trust is what leads to, okay, let's have a signed agreement.
Yes. But if we try to understand each other, we really don't need to write an agreement.
Sure.
Because we would be very circumstantial in our actions and behaviors.
Sure.
So whenever I want to resolve conflicts between businesses, and I look at the document that is supposed to be the basis for the resolution, I find that if I follow the document, there will be no resolution.
Oh, wow.
There's a human problem we have. So we need to solve it in a humane way, because all of us are human, but not all of us are humane.
Can you explain that, please?
Yes, being humane is to be empathetic.
Okay.
Being humane
understanding
is to
the other person, feel what they're feeling.
Right. Solve the problem with a human face.
Okay. Not like, I don't give a damn.
Yeah. So
what are you saying?
The agreement says come in at 4.
Okay.
They didn't say 4 p.m. or 4 a.m.
Oh.
And they say it's 4.
4 is 4.
4 is 4. You're showing up at 4 a.m. The agreement says 4. I'm in.
Exactly. You didn't say p.m. or a.m.
We assume, with human faces, we assume that when we say 4, we meant 4
p.m.
So, sticking to, for example, you will hear rules and regulations minus relationships equals to resentment and rebellion.
Oh, true.
So, at the end of the day, let us look at the intention of the parties.
Okay.
Let us look at the goal. And then let us look at the circumstance of the parties.
The present circumstance.
Circumstantial issues. So, if you want to manage a conflict, look beyond the apparent to the inherent.
Okay.
Apparently, you're looking angry.
Yeah. How dare you?
Yeah, but why? What happened before she got here? Who is taking her off?
Okay.
What's responsible
for this reaction?
Am I contributing to this anger? Can I do anything about it? should I react to the anger or respond to it?
So reaction is different from response.
Yes.
Can you break that down?
If I react to the anger, you raise your voice and I raise my voice, then I'm reacting to your anger.
So everybody is raising their voices.
Yeah, so you come into the room for a meeting and you're uptight. And I know I'm not responsible for
That attitude.
But I don't want to audit it.
Okay.
I was loosened up before, but I've come uptight.
Who do you think you are?
So if you're going to give me that, then let me give you that too. So I mean, I'm reacting.
Yeah, you're not responding.
Not responding. But if you come in uptight, you say, is everything okay?
Oh, that's so emotional.
So now I'm responding to it.
Okay.
So a lot of times I ask people, do you treat people the way they treat you? Or do you treat people the way they deserve to
be treated?
Or do you treat people the way you want them to treat you?
Oh, 3 categories.
3 categories. So all of that depends. So if you treat people the way they treat you, you're reacting to them. If you treat people the way you want them to treat you, you're responding.
Okay. So the best way is to treat people the way you want them to treat you.
Yeah, you can teach people how to treat you actually.
Okay, tell me about that.
That's responding.
Okay.
Okay. So if they raise your voice and you don't like people raising your voice, if you tell them don't raise your voice at me, they'll raise their voice at you.
That happens a lot.
So
when you keep saying stop shouting, they keep
yelling.
yelling.
So if they raise their voice at you and then you speak to them the way you want to be spoken to,
they'll respond. Oh wow. Alright guys, you're listening to the BRR Show, the Business Relationship and Real Life Issue Show on TLIG Africa TV. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the amazing Mr. Charles Okeibunor. Don't go anywhere, stay with us.
When you log on to shortletrentals.com, what will you get?
Get a peaceful and serene environment to relax after a long week at work. You will get a pleasant, charming home plus exceptional service you deserve.
Babe, how'd you get this beautiful place?
Oh, I got it on shortletrentals.com. They have really nice options. Very pretty places for like short stays, staycations, or vacations. Get the perfect place to spend time with your friends. Get a house that welcomes you home every evening. Get joy. Get satisfaction.
Shortlet Rentals, taking your home with you.
Welcome back from that short break. We're still talking to the CEO of IRMP, that's Mr. Charles Okeibunor, handsome man. I'll be talking about how to manage conflicts in business and in relationships. So now let's delve into relationship.
Right.
That is a major part. This conflict that happens in relationship, right, sometimes it can be really intense, right? So how can you manage such in relationships?
Okay, in relationships, you want to move beyond knowing somebody to understanding them.
Yes.
So we know our friends, we know our spouse, we know
our colleagues,
but do you understand them?
Okay.
So I can know you without understanding you.
Just know me like, okay, Jkay.
Yeah, I can know you. I can know the things you like, the things you don't like. I can know you. So knowledge is different from understanding. Understanding is a deeper
type of knowledge.
In fact, understanding is sieving.
Okay.
You know, I grew up in the village, so you have cassava. So when you grind cassava, you dry it, and then you sieve. It's what you have sieved that you fry.
Okay, true.
Now, everything about somebody is the knowledge, but understanding is how to relate with them.
Okay.
Your ability to bring the best out of the worst person, not the worst out of the best person. That is understanding. That is understanding.
That's amazing to know. So if I want to understand somebody, my aim is to bring out the best in that person.
Yes, bring the best out of the worst person.
Bring the best out of the worst person.
Yes.
Oh.
But when you don't understand them, you can even bring the worst out of the best person.
More than worse.
Have you met someone who say, can you say, that girl is so rude, so proud? They say, who? You mention, say, I don't know her like that.
Yeah, she's so calm.
That's the side you saw.
Yeah, that's true.
And then every time they say, oh, she's so humble, she's
Adorable.
so nice. They say, who? No one.
That rude thing.
Same person, different experience.
Okay. So it just depends on what you bring out of them.
Yes, everyone has got a bile. The bile is that very bitter part of every animal.
Okay.
So when you open up the animal, the butchers know that when they get to the bile, they take it easy.
They're careful.
They're careful.
Because once it opens, you spoil the whole thing.
It reads the entire meat, and it's so small.
Tiny.
So every one of us has got a bile
Within us.
within us.
Okay.
So understanding means I don't rupture your bile.
I'll be careful around it.
Yes, I know.
'Cause I
and
understand it. I know what pieces you
I
are.
understand. Yes, I know. So oftentimes relationships have challenges because one party thinks about their interests
Okay.
and the other party thinks of their interest. So there's no melting point.
Everybody's self-centered.
That's the first thing. The second reason why there are many challenges in relationships is one person is giving, the other is taking. So there is no relationship that
balance.
can be sustained that way. Relationships are designed to be mutual, not parasitic.
Did you hear that? Relationships are meant to be mutual, not parasitic.
That's correct. So no matter, nobody,
Don't be the one that is taking from your spouse, but you
Right.
don't give.
right, no one is unlimited in resource. Mental resource, physical resource, moral resource.
Nobody is
spiritual.
unlimited.
No one is unlimited.
But sometimes we have that impression, like this person gives all the time, is such a giver, so there's no need for me to give her.
Yeah, she has everything.
She has everything.
How do
You
give
can
somebody
just
who has everything.
we make that mistake and we
Yes,
say that a
it's a
lot.
shortcut, and it's a wrong style. I tell you a story about a man who every day he went to church, he gave the bishop, very wealthy bishop,
Okay.
a pack of handkerchiefs.
Just handkerchiefs. That's to just dry
and
your.
he can't have access to the bishop, so he'll take it to the driver
I
and
say,
drop it.
can you
with
give
him.
it to the
every
bishop?
Sunday he went to the park every Sunday he did that religiously. And one day the bishop said to his driver, who is this man who's always bringing a pack of white handkerchiefs?
To me.
The next time he comes, asking for his number.
Wow. Generosity.
And he took his number. So when he went, he said, Papa's asked me to ask for your number. And he gave him his number.
Just
and
like that.
evening he called him. He said, my friend who's always bringing me white
My
handkerchiefs.
friend.
Now I want
He
you
called
to
him
come
friend.
and see me.
Wow. Just by that act.
So, if someone is always giving and another is always taking, the relationship will go into what you call bankruptcy.
So relationships can go into bankruptcy.
Yes, and that leads to conflict. The second reason is, if I want wisdom, I come to you. I want money, I come to you. I want comfort, I come to you. I want encouragement, I come to you. I want advice, I come to you. There's no one person that can provide everything for another.
That is strange.
Yes.
So there's no one person that can provide everything for the other.
No one person can. So you're going to overstretch the relationship. And relationships are like rubber bands. If you overstretch them, they will either hurt or cut.
They'll either hot or cut.
Right.
Wow.
So if I keep everything I want from you, I'm going to, yes.
I want this. I
Yeah.
want
So
money.
whether it's a marital relationship, your husband doesn't have to be the source of
Everything.
everything that you need: physical, spiritual, emotional, social, political, academic.
Oh, wow. Now I see where a lot of conflicts start from.
So you may find the person reacting. The person may not even say that you've become a burden to me. So every time you find relationships where there's a conflict, you need to just check for these 3 areas. Do they understand? Are they making an effort to understand themselves? And for you to understand the person, you need to listen. Because what are the keys? Listen.
Listen to the person you're trying to understand.
That is correct. Listen. What does it mean to listen? People think you listen to get information. That's, everyone knows that.
So what other ways can you listen? What do you listen for?
To give validation.
Okay. Can you explain?
When you're talking to me and I'm listening to you, you feel regarded.
True. Because you're listening to me.
You feel respected. You feel valued.
I feel heard.
You feel heard. So, you're not just listening to get information. When you listen, you get information from another person, but you give them validation. So that's why it's a two-way traffic.
Okay.
So the person talking
is
getting validation
from me,
from
that
you
I'm listening.
that is listening.
Wow.
So in a relationship where someone is not listening, is enduring the conversation, can't wait for you to finish.
Most likely
this.
making faces or just pressing phone.
All right, I'm listening. Is it on the ear they using? I'm listening to you. You just told me
you.
that your car, that somebody brushed you. I'm listening now. So here's what. You may be able to rehash everything they said, but you're not giving them validation because you're not paying attention.
And validation is important.
That validation. Okay.
So that was how the thing happened.
The person feels.
He's listening. This person is inside my conversation.
That's a relationship, right?
Sure.
So you want to understand the person, you need to listen.
You need to listen.
You need to acknowledge, which is what I just gave you now.
Yeah.
Acknowledge the emotions, the expression.
Wow. So if your spouse comes to you and say, today at work someone pissed me off, can you imagine? Be like, how can someone do that to you? Not that you now say, be calming down, go and beat first.
You know, acknowledge.
Go and eat something.
Yes,
you worry me with
shut down
gist.
those things and all that. No. And many people don't listen because they're afraid that they will need to find the solution. You don't need to have the solution. Just
listen. Oh wow. Okay, that could be happening too.
Right.
They may know that I should be listening to this person, but then if I listen now, they may expect something from me, or they expect me to find a solution. So let me not listen.
You're putting yourself under pressure. An assumption is the lowest level of information. Don't assume that it needs to. She's telling me now. I'm going to. If she's telling me about money, that means it's money now.
She wants to beg me for money.
After all this now, so that I will bring money. So let me find ways to shut down this or distract this conversation or change the trajectory. No, listen completely and fully. They may finish talking to you and say, I feel better. You haven't done anything.
You didn't have to
what
provide
has
the
happened
money.
Is this. When we are going through situations in life, it's like we're carrying a load. When the person is listening to us, we are offloading. And when you bring down that thing, you feel light.
Feel better.
That's what's happening. Just listen and everything is coming down. When they are done speaking to you, 50% of that challenge is dealt with. That's why they say a problem shared is half solved.
So that proverb is still true.
True.
Wow. So relationship will thrive when we listen more and of course validate, acknowledge what our partners,
what other people are saying.
Yes.
Right? And don't judge.
Don't judge.
If you can manage, which is very difficult, try not to judge. No, you shouldn't have, no. Don't judge.
Do you know why I smiled? Because it was something I did recently. That's why I smiled, because I didn't see like it was a wrong thing, even though it's not like the person is my spouse, but someone brought a matter to me and I was like, boy, you shouldn't behave this way. I expect that at your level. You should. I didn't know it was wrong. I should listen first. And acknowledge.
People do the wrong thing and I can say, you know what you did was wrong, But if I were in your shoes, I could have done the same thing.
Oh, that will make them feel good.
You know?
Like, at least I'm not the only one making
I could
mistakes.
have done the same thing. I can't say it's right, but if I were in your shoes, I would have done the same thing.
You know that you say, how can you do that?
Yeah, they feel judged.
Wow. Okay, guys, you've been listening to the BRR Show, the business relationship and real life issues show. And today, we've been talking about relationship and real life issues. We've been talking about how to manage conflict in business and, of course, in relationships. And it's been an amazing time with Mr. Charles Okeibunor. Thank you very much for being on the show. So, guys, same time next week, join me on the BRR Show. It's your girl, Jkay. You can follow me on Instagram at Jkay_OAP. Jkay_OAP. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.
Bye.